So I actually cleared my chair, so now I can sit where I used to sit. And I'm uncomfortable and I don't like it. I've been going through a kind of whole big room clean at the minute, because somehow I managed to lose $60. So I'm tidying my room because I feel bad about that. Anyway, so today, as you're watching this, I am probably in New York right now, but I'm not as I make this. So I don't know why I'd care. Anyway, today I bring you part 2 of books that have changed my life, where I'm going to talk about a second book that's changed my life. It's really, you're going to understand the concept here. So this one is nowhere near as well known as the first one I decided to do, and it's UnLunDun by China. I still don't know how to pronounce this guy's last name. I think it's Melville or Mayville. I'm going to go with Mayville. Anyway, China Mayville. So yeah, haven't really heard of this book, probably. I absolutely adore it, and it's a kid's book, and it's got pictures and stuff in it, but I actually really like kids' books, to be honest. I feel like because I really enjoy reading, people assume that I'll read a lot of like classic books, but I read mostly kids' books. But I read a lot of kids' books. Anyway, so the reason that this book is really important to me is because it basically just kind of showed me how good fiction can be. For those of you who don't know, it's basically about these two girls called Zana and Diba. Best names ever, am I right? And a lot of weird stuff starts happening to Zana, and then eventually they find themselves in a kind of weird, twisted, parallel version of London called UnLunDun. And a bunch of weird stuff happens, and bins have legs, and people are ghosts, and giraffes are evil, and all of that kind of stuff. And Zana is the chosen one, and she has to save UnLunDun, as the prophecy says. It's a very cliche concept, and without spoiling it too much, it manages to completely subvert that and go against the cliche, and it's one of the best kind of anti-cliche books I've read. The art style in it is great, depending, obviously you may not get a version with drawings in it, but like, look how friggin' cool that is. Wait, look how cool the art style is though. It's a guy with a bird cage as a head. Also, growing up, I found the character of Diba, which is kind of like the sidekick character, really inspirational. I started reading this book when I was quite young, and it got really cliche, and I was like, this is too cliche, I'm gonna put it down. Then eventually one day I picked it back up, kept reading, and I'm so glad I did, because it went completely against the cliche I thought it was gonna go. This book came out in 2007, and it's probably quite hard to find nowadays. I have no clue. I certainly have not heard it discussed outside of myself. But it's so good! I can't even like describe how good this book is, because it's amazing, and even if you're not a child, and even if you don't really like surrealist fantasy, you should definitely read this book, because it's just an amazing feat of storytelling. The book is entertaining and the book is funny, but more than that, it shows you the possibilities and how good writing is. Even if I haven't managed to convince you to read this book, you should read it for the puns alone. Because there isn't just UnLunDun, no, there's also Parisant, and Sans Francisco, and Tokino. Puns, guys! Puns and dustbins with limbs. Plus the fact that the bad guy in this book is literally like global warming, kind of. A personified version of global warming, so it's all moral and stuff as well. And although you probably have guessed from my summary, the two main characters in it, at least at the start, are female. And it passes the Bechdel test so well. And it's got, like, its female characters are completely against the kind of trope of the shooting people and don't have a personality but you're strong because you wield a gun type trope. But they're so good. Please read this book. Please read this book. My thing is doing the thing, and I think I'm gonna run out of charge soon, so I'm just gonna say, if I haven't convinced you, read it anyway, because this book is one of the best books I've ever read, and it has inspired everything I've ever written since then, and it's the benchmark by which I judge everything I've ever read. So do the thing with the book and your eyes or your ears or the braille, depending on how you like to enjoy your literature. And I will see you in my next one of these, whenever that may be.